this Bamileke woman that she used to. I used to go and they should wash my hair. Oh, I'll be safe.
Yes, we are. As I was saying that.
I've told something.
If these things were still connected to it, it would have gone.
She used to wash my hair, retouch my hair for me. We'll call her Mommy Blessing. She's not far from our house. So today she was asking me when I'm coming to retouch my hair. I was like, when I will take down this one, I'll come and retouch my hair. I don't have money now. She said, okay. And then we were chatting.
Mm.
She had brought plantain, so she was telling me that I should go and that she has brought plantain. No, she's the one that used to supply us plantain.
Yeah.
That is plantain. And then I told her that I'm liking the fact that she's doing this her plantain business, saving us the stress of going to the market and all. So she has to do it now because she got her job to teach in one school that is beside our house.
Uh-huh.
And her husband said that she should not teach. I said, wait, why will your husband ask you not to teach? Okay. She said, the man is just like that. He's a control freak. That got her job, something that she has always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The man said she should not teach. So she can only occupy herself by selling her plantain. Then the man was also coming. He heard us talking. And then the man said that you got a job for 45,000 and you want to employ a nanny to be taking care of children for you to go and work.
That she got a job for 45,000.
Yes.
That she wants to employ a nanny. Yeah.
Wait, what is wrong in that? Am I the one to be taking care of your children?
Is she not the wife of the guy?
Then, so she's not supposed to work. Can you leave your own job to come and take care of children?
Wait, she's the man's wife now,
So what?
and their children.
And then,
The children between her and the guy,
yes, no.
and she doesn't want to take care of her children.
No, because she got her job. She has been taking care of the children. And now she has gotten her job. She
A
wants to
job
go
for
and work.
45,000. You'll be paying the nanny how much? Oh, God.
Have you ever considered that things that people really want to do? Like that's what somebody wants to do. You might say that, what would that income add to his house? So, man,
Yeah, so because of 30,000, you want someone else to raise your child.
because of what?
Because of 30,000,
Thirty
or
thousand
maybe
how?
20,000. Because if you are paying the nanny 30,000, or how much? 20,000.
If she pays the nanny 30,000, she'll have 15K.
So because of 15K, you want to go and slave out,
Wait, why am I the only one to pay the nanny?
working for another person.
Why am I
No,
the
you
one
are trying to supplement income for the home now. I'm not even saying that you are the one paying the nanny.
Hmm?
I'm just saying that that is the difference that we have to make now. So because of 15K, you want someone else to raise your children.
But she be in school the whole day. Have you?
I should be in school the whole day. Okay, okay.
What? No, anyways, what I'm saying is that sometimes to men should be considerate about what people want. At least feel her pain, walk her shoes too. Don't know what it means to be making kids.
What is it with women wanting to go and slave out for a boss and leave their children in the house in another person's with to be taken care by another person? What's that all about? Uh,
Okay, so if she got a job for 800K, you would leave the children to slave with another person.
no, that's not the point. The point is that why a woman wanting to go and be slaving out for. Why don't they consider their husbands like the way that they will consider their boss at work?
They don't consider their husband's house. Then why are they doing the marriage?
They don't consider their husbands like that. That's why they want to go and slave out. Oy, 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 oy. Why is it not here already. Yes, that's first of all.
Hey, mommy, bless.
Mm. Oh, I've never gone live. Then forgotten that his Facebook is that. That's very funny.
Babe, please give me that.
Hmm?
Please give me. Okay, I've taken a while. Men who use confusion to control you because a disruption to their consistency is what will make you start to stop and think, wait, what's going on here? Something has changed. And usually that confusion is intended for. Men don't speak, men go through a lot, but I feel that women by DNA have the capacity. Josh and I have been married. When we look at domestic violence statistics, not just in Nigeria. Hey, babe.
Okay. Oh, sure. Ciao.
Every day I must wound myself in this.
We are alive. Eh?
Mm.
I said that we are alive. Eh?
Jesus. Are they hearing you?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. Okay, okay.
You're joking, right?
I'm not joking.
They can hear us.
Yes.
And they're gonna watch this.
Do not bother. It is still the distance screen. There's nobody there yet.
But they'll watch it. After this, they'll be able to play it and watch it now.
Oh yeah. Well,
God.
yes, baby girl. Savale. In your head, in your head.
We'll just ruin everything I work for. To ask me.
I don't bother.
Hmm? Why did you not tell me that way?
Nobody had anything.
But they'll watch it after. That's the issue. They're gonna watch it.
Okie dokie. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go live. We are about to go live. One last thing to do here. Voila. Hey,
Tonic,
hey y'all.
you're supposed to be my co-host. You know what I'm thinking?
It's like the video.
Just behind the scenes.
Like the video.
I'm gonna upload this.
You hope that
As behind the scenes.
okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So we are ready to go. Start recording here. Start recording there.
As you record, do you record like the Facebook record? Facebook record
But yeah.
like is that the
No, 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 no. I actually record it on the PC here. From the time the PC directly. Okay, dokie. Hello, hello. Okay. We are not live yet. And now we are live. Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Head to Head podcasts with Sharpnik. I am Sharpnik from Sharpnik Pictures, together with my very beautiful co-host Ngumis. Ngumis, welcome. Yes, Ngumis, today is not Tuesday. We used to say that we have to be doing this thing every Tuesday, but apparently it's as
Cameroon
if
happens to us
we skipped.
sometimes.
We skipped. We decided to make today Tuesday instead. Tell us why.
Because Cameroon happens to all of us. Cameroon happens to me. Cameroon happens to everybody. If
Yes. Thanks Sonatra for that. So
Kadeo,
it's
Kadeo made this possible last night. That was yesterday, and it's almost reached up to today. If not, that will reach up to 10. We'll press on.
yeah. So we were unable to do it, but since we are still a very small unit, nobody knows yet. We don't have a generator to bring it to you when Sonatra when Eneo decides
So
that we are
Kadeo, correct yourself.
yes when Sokade decides to fuck with us. So
Yeah.
people know her momo na people should send us money so that we can use it and buy generator. We need money to keep running this thing. So you should send her money so that we can use it and buy generator. You know that this did you even make a flyer for this one too? This did you
I
post a flyer?
did, and I put the time wasn't right. Time wasn't accurate, and so Kadeo even did what
Yeah, and it's making us to start
at
a
7
lot later.
quarter past 7.
That's all right. That's all right. What are we going to be talking about today?
First of all,
Yes, and because of all of that, we not really prepare a lot of stuff. So we're just like we are going to come and we
no,
are going to entertain anybody that we are going to see here.
no. As for the preparation part, right, it's because I don't have a phone. I wasn't online almost. It's been almost a week, right?
Yep.
I got robbed. I don't know if I got robbed, but I lost my phone on Friday night, and today, but I got a new one.
Actually, what she's trying to say is that she probably needs to go and see her village people.
So yeah, last week was it last week? I
Yes.
had an accident, and then Friday I lost my phone. So
Her
it's
village
been
people are working
from one
overtime.
ordeal to another. Oh, this guy's always here. Hey, Chilfonge, how are you? I'm sure you missed me. I wasn't online for quite a while. I mean, and it's so funny. Do you know why?
Right?
Because around here, Gumis, we can't really get you. Oh,
Oh yeah. I just fixed that.
what?
I just fixed that for a little while there. She had. I'm sure you can get her now. Can you get
Can you
her
get me
now?
now?
Yeah, I'm sure you
Li-
can get. I just fixed that. I noticed that and I fixed it.
Okay. So last week, I lost. I had an accident. I had a bad leg. In fact, I still do have a bad leg. And then Friday, I lost my phone. I couldn't come online for obvious reasons. And I don't really know what has been happening on the internet, but don't bother because now got a new phone. Thank you, Stainless. Thank you. So I got a new phone now, and I hope that Yaoundé thieves are not going to snatch this one from me again. But do you know what's funny? It's how people spiritualize everything. Like what you just said now about
I have
village
to go and
people.
see her village people.
Yeah, someone actually called me like when I retrieved my number, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was using an analog phone. Someone called me and he was like, I've not seen you online for quite a while. I explained. I was like, I lost my phone. Yeah. I was like, oh, last week you had an accident. I did, and now you've lost your phone. Can I give you an advice? Can you go to your village and wash your face? I was like, God of Jericho, it's just a fucking phone, man. Like, how do people get to spiritualize everything? You see, I think that it's not just enough to be to not be religious, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also enough to be anti-religious. Like it's also okay to be anti-religious, because what religious ideologies do to people, it's so heartbreaking. For example, I wasn't online, but when I came back online, I saw what has been happening in northern Nigeria.
Uh-huh. What's been happening in Northern Nigeria?
Over 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, some school teacher, a head teacher, and over 45 pupils, primary school pupils, were baby napped. I don't want to use such words here for the sake of the algorithm. They were baby napped and taken to an unknown location, of course. So these extremists, of course, we all know they are Islamic. I don't want to call them extremists because actually they are abiding by their religion. So I would just say this Islamist. They take these people there and they're releasing footages of torturing them, and they feel like it's justified because they're doing it for the sake of Allah, right?
Mm.
There's a video that was trending last week. I mean, this girl posted it even though it was blurred, but you could understand what was going on. Where this terrorist or whatever he was using a machete to this I don't want to use that word, but you know what I'm saying. And he
It
was
was very gruesome.
yeah, and he was doing it in the name of Allah. He felt so righteous. He felt so right doing it because he was doing it for the sole purpose of protecting Allah. And that's so funny because if in as much Islam is a big religion, we have over 1.5 billion people on earth who practice Islam. I think it's the second largest religion after Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm sure Christianity has about 2.1 billion people practicing it. So, yeah, we we can easily start to talk about Islam because we can talk about Islam because we see it every day. There's a lot of people, more than more than a fifth of the world's population practices the religion. So we can see their their bizarre deeds and comment on them, right?
Mm.
But we don't get to actually talk about the ones that are close to us, like our traditional beliefs, how they do affect us. For example, just imagine that I was one faint-hearted, weak-minded girl, and this guy was like, because obviously my phone got missing. It did hurt me, right?
Mm.
It's painful because it costs me money to buy it, and it's not like I'm that comfortable that I could just spend such sums of money at will, because that phone I got it in January, right? So imagine that this guy said that to me, and I was not as educated or as informed as I am. And then I would just hop on there and be like, truly, might be I should go to my village. And then I will go and meet somebody in the village who has never even had the opportunity to step outside that division
But who cannot afford the type of phone that you
that I have, and start to buy goats and these. And now that will mean me traumatizing myself, because I'm going to attribute every little wrong or every little pain that I get to feel to a religious setback.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, life is happening. Maybe in the way we like it or in the way we don't like it. It is life. It happens every day. I'm sure if we put up maybe a small poll online right now asking how many people lost their phones today, you're going to see millions of people who lost phones today. But when it happens to you, you feel like, no, you're just too special. It shouldn't happen to you. It could happen to every other person, but it shouldn't happen to you. You have to go fix it. There's this lady, you do know that I have a lot of ladies who like to call me to talk about their one or two, because of course. So she calls me.
She give people very bad advice.
Yeah, give people very bad advice. I've probably been giving you quite a lot. So this lady, she calls me. Mind you, she's a grown-up lady. She's not one young girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she's a girl. I mean, women don't age. She's like 40, I think 41, 42, like that. So she calls me and she's like, she has been trying hard to conceive, right? And one thing I used to tell ladies is that the biggest prison cage that you can find yourself in will not be put by a man like people insinuate, but it's going to be put by you. Once you don't know who you are, you're going to cage yourself, you're going to traumatize yourself, you're going to torture yourself. And now, when I met this lady like 3 years ago. She had just come back. I don't know if it's from Bahrain or which country, an Arab country. And she said that her sole aim of coming back from that country was to use the money she has made from that country to conceive, because she wants to have a child. Okay. I was like, I don't know how much you've made in that country where you are, but it's a good thing that you went and you worked your money. You expanded your horizon. You tried new things. You tested new locations. I'm proud of you. But this lady is and I don't say this to be derogatory or not. I'm just saying it for the purpose of understanding, so you can probably get the context of this video, right? This lady, she's stark illiterate. I think she left school in primary 3 in her village in Pinin, right? So there's a lot she really doesn't understand. When she got back, I was like, okay, so first thing you should do is probably go to a hospital, get yourself a good gynecologist, or get yourself... Everybody's trying. Thank you, Fonge. Everybody's trying to win souls for their denomination, whether it's for their traditional practices or whatsoever, but they're trying. So she said, I told her, go to the hospital, get a good gynecologist, get some kind of follow-up. Medicine has evolved, and at least they're making opportunities for people who find it hard to conceive. But I don't know if you'll be able to afford, because I also know that these procedures are really costly. But it's good that you say you went out to hustle and now you're back just to get pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, she did not go.
She did not go.
She did not go to the hospital like I told her to. This girl kept hovering from one spiritualist to another, from one medicine man to another. Today she's drinking this concoction, tomorrow she's drinking that one. I was like, I'm not
Trying to
against,
conceive.
yeah. After her, I'm not against folk medicine, but I don't truly comprehend the science behind most of this folk medicine. So I will not recommend that.
Yeah.
Most of these people who go about doing these things, they don't really even carry out any research. Of course, we know of a lot of traditional
Traditional healers.
pharmacologists or who actually go about carrying out real research
Mm-hmm.
under supervised research programs
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
but I don't trust any of these ones in one village somewhere saying that they. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those are the people she keeps patronizing. And still, she always comes back with the same result. And then one time, I knew that she's definitely not gonna understand what I'm trying to say. So maybe I should just change my approach, right? So I was like, do you know what? Sometimes we search for blessings a lot that we fail to see what's around us. There's a lot of kids around here. You can be a mother even if you don't conceive, and sometimes it's even advantageous to be a mother to an adopted child. Do you know why? Because you're not going to go through morning sickness, pregnancy struggles. I mean, I was trying to cheer her up, right?
Yeah.
I was like, just adopt a child. If you cannot love a child you adopted, it's not because you do not give birth to the child, it's just because you are not a very good person. Because if you give birth to a child and you switch in the hospital, you still love it. It's true, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I was trying to tell her that find a child, adopt, give your love to that child. That child is gonna love you back. It's gonna call you mommy, and you will be a mother. I don't think there's anybody who is gonna look at you and be like, "You're not a mother because you adopted a child." I don't think there's anyone that dumb in this place around here. But well, it still fell on deaf ears, of course. But 3 days ago, was it 4 days ago? She called me, and she was like, "Her mother finally sought out this one. No woman has ever gone to this man and come back without a child.
As if you have never heard that before.
No woman, this particular one, right? No woman has been to him and come back without a child." And so I was like, what's he asking for? Because I already know what are they asking for. She was like, the man said, before she comes, she's supposed to send 100K, which she has already sent. And when she's coming, she's supposed to bring another 100K. And then she's supposed to buy 2 goats and 7 large, healthy chickens. Okay.
Has she gone and done that already?
As we speak right now, she's on her way to the village. She's on her way to the village.
Well,
And mind you, to date, since I told you she got back from the Arab country, she's never been to the hospital. She's never gotten a proper diagnosis of what's and sometimes it's not even about a matter of diagnosis. I told you she's already 40 or 40 plus, right? So sometimes too, it's just biology doing its thing. Some people menopause. I don't know if people understand, Nick. It's true that you can still be menstruating, but you're not that viable, right?
Yeah, actually, let me first of all, I think I've said a lot, and then I'll first of all say this. This might be a little bit controversial, but people are just dumb. We need to actually really start telling people that they are very, very dumb.
No, you cannot just go about telling people that they're dumb.
Yeah, we have to start telling about people that they're very dumb.
And the fun is, what's your objective? If your objective is trying to pass across a message, you should be as kind as possible, because
sometimes now you need to keep that kindness behind and just tell them the very unfeathered truth that you are
this
just
is
very
someone
dumb.
Who says that I give bad advice.
Yes, we need to be able to start telling people that they are very dumb. It's because they are not telling them that you are very stupid. They go and continue doing stupid things, and they think that no, that they are the highest people in the world. First of all, and the second thing too is that I feel very sorry for her, because I think especially given the age that she is probably now, she has been sold alive for a very, very long time, and she's just figuring out right now the consequences of following through that lie. And that lie has been the one that has been telling women that prioritize.
You don't know her story, so for that I'll tell you to just calm down. You don't know her
Yeah,
story.
no,
This
I'm
person,
speaking at this more in general
this person
because
we're talking about, right?
yeah,
She's like I told you, she dropped out of school in her early primaries,
yeah,
hustling in the village.
mm-hmm,
She had a village boyfriend, which
mm-hmm,
she sponsored in school
mm-hmm.
until he got his advanced level and he was about to leave the village. He came to Yaoundé. I'm talking about
Yeah.
um
Like for
he,
example, why is a woman even sponsoring a man in school?
because she was
That's-
hustling in the village and he was going to school.
don't go and get married to the village chief. If you are
Okay, I'm not. No, you know me. You know me. I'm not. Nobody should be sponsoring. Why would you sponsor a man? Don't do
yeah.
that kind of thing. I'm just narrating her story. No
Mm-hmm.
woman,
Yeah, no, but
a man can sponsor you. A man can pay bills, but it's not your duty as a woman to sponsor any man to pay any bills. I'll say this again because you guys will go and do it after you come and cry.
yeah, no, because the thing is, the funny,
And like you're saying, this the story ended just like you can imagine, right?
mm-hmm.
Of
So
her.
now that she's even looking for a man who is she's looking for a child, who is the man? Does she have a man who she's trying with to get a child with? Dumb, stupid.
But anyway, one thing I know is anyway, it's not even as bad as
Like I said, we need to
the
start.
story is not even as bad as she sponsored the man and the man left, right? Because this guy moved to Yaoundé and she was still in the village. She was still sending him money. He managed to get his degree in SWA and got his, at the time teaching jobs. These lay private teachers were what the jobs you had in Cameroon. So he started doing 1 or 2, and when he felt like he could maybe fend for himself, he went back to the village and brought her.
And brought her to your own.
Yes, and they were together, living together.
See, somebody, I don't know why people are running away from the village. Like seriously. No, like seriously. When we were still in school, they were teaching us about what is rural exodus. And I have never really understood why people are running away from the village and why people think that the best life is in the city. Of course, there are certain amenities in the city that are not as much in the village.
Anyway,
but the
I will
more you
beg to
stay,
differ.
the more you stay in the city. I remember very well my father before he passed on. He was
So rest
one
in
of
peace.
one of his biggest things
Mhm.
was to have his retirement home in the village. Everything that he did was so that when he will be retiring, he's going to go in back to
I
the
think
village.
that's about all men.
He's going to go in back to the village to go and live him his simple life.
Yeah.
Where he's going to get up. There are fruits in front here. There's guava tree here. There's pawpaw tree there. There's banana behind the
The
house.
grandkids running around.
Yes, there's everything. You have everything around you.
Yeah.
Right? You probably could stay for weeks without.
Why did he
really
have
going.
to? Why did he have to move to town to build that dream back in the village? Why didn't he just stay
Beats
there? And
me.
It beats
Beats me.
Say
Right?
beats me. Say it beats me. The truth is, there's just how far you go if you would leave that village. If you would gaze, if your gaze at the wall is set upon all that you see just around you, those village men with the tapa. No, go to town.
Village
Try.
tapas
Fight.
in the
If you
village are
can
living
even
like their
leave
best
the
life.
country, leave the country. Go to somewhere, even if it is Dubai, anywhere. Go meet people.
Dubai.
Face anywhere you can. I'm saying to people who can just afford that, right? Go. Leave the country. It's going to change your mindset. There's just how far you will go with a kind of mindset.
No, because you don't.
And one thing I believe, you see, that's the good thing about people like us who believe in nihilism, or is nihilism, whatever you want to call it. We don't believe in any religion, or we don't believe that life inherently has any purpose.
Say what?
I don't believe that.
I don't die. How can you say that you don't think life inherently has purpose?
Yes, it has no purpose.
So why do you think that we are alive?
Yeah, we're just alive like goats are alive, like cats, every other animal is alive.
Yes, why are cats alive? Why are goats alive?
We don't have any reason
They
to
are
be.
alive to reproduce.
It's just, this guy is so funny.
Well, yeah, that I think I've probably said this before.
So if
everything that we do on this earth,
let me ask
everything
you,
that
if let me say an asteroid hit, right?
Mhm.
And someone was in an underground bunker
Yeah.
and everyone died
Yes, except him.
and he walked out. What was going to be his purpose? Because he cannot find another person.
He
to
will not
replace.
have any purpose. That's why there will be no reason to live because he cannot reproduce. That is why
No.
the purpose of living in the first place
Now let me
is
tell
the
you.
survival
Let me
of
tell
your
you what
species.
nihilists like us we believe. I believe that life in itself has no inherent purpose or meaning, right?
Mhm.
So it's a new slate every day. You can wake up and write what you think, create your own purpose, fulfill it. So if you view life like that, you will hardly have to break down or go depressed for failures because you just believe that it is another
But
slate
if you believe that life has no purpose
inherently.
inherently, so
Yes.
why do you need a purpose then?
To make your life interesting, right? You can want to create.
So basically, we are just here to have fun,
Yeah.
according to you.
Yeah. Why here to live? We're just here to live.
Have
no
fun,
purpose.
right?
Yeah, no purpose. So you now can be like, okay, Gumis, I want to be like the biggest podcaster in Cameroon.
And that becomes your purpose.
Yeah.
And
So you see,
so you just want and would you say that is a good way to live?
yeah, I think so.
So that means that if I decide to become the biggest, I decide that my purpose tomorrow is to become the biggest serial murderer.
Anyway, you're going to jail. That's what you've decided. But
would that be the best way to live?
Why would you in this vastness or endlessness of possibilities of purpose? Why would you choose such like that? I mean,
yeah, well, there are how many billion people in this world? I'm sure at least a tenth of them are thinking that.
That's why, and that's why we have laws so that people like you who would choose that purpose will be in jail while we're here living our lives.
Yeah,
fun.
That's a very defeatist way, I think, of living. Because, like I said, if just like the example that you brought, if an asteroid came to Earth and you woke up and you were the only one on Earth, your life ceases to have meaning. Because there's no way that
your own life ceases to have meaning, but mine would still have meaning. If I was the only one on Earth, my purpose I would just ride in.
Yeah, you are going to sit down and do whatever you want to do for what?
Well, because I'm here to live, I will just live. I will just do.
And then what will happen now?
What after this? What will happen to you?
After this, my whatever gets carried on and I get remembered. That is the purpose of my life. That is the purpose of life. Really.
When you get remembered, how does it happen? How does it help you when you get remembered?
Well, it helps in that it shows maybe the way that you lived your life helps another person.
Exemplary to another person.
Become an example
that's
to
good.
someone else.
That's a purpose.
Stuff like
maybe you want to be a good person so that he's gonna serve as a model for. Okay, that's good. That's a good purpose you've written down. Of course, I applaud you on that.
No, but that is the reason for which we are alive. It's so that
children,
we continue.
Do you know that children being raised in the jungle, they were thrown there and they just grew up in the wild, and nobody's ever going to remember them? Do you know that?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so why are they existing?
Even when you are thrown in the jungle, you still want to start your own community in the jungle.
Of course, because man is a social being. And propagate
that society in the jungle so that you keep that jungle community growing and growing and growing.
Says, the more you stay in the city, the more you appreciate the village.
Yeah,
God forbid.
Absolutely.
Say, mind you, before we moved to Yaoundé, right? My father had moved back to the village. You know that I grew up in the village, yeah. So my father had moved back to. In fact, he
grew up in Bamenda.
I grew up in Bamenda, but at a point, we moved to the village. And you know why you laughing? I grew up in Bamenda.
To go and visit the village from time to time is not to grow up in the village.
Nick, my school, St. Joseph Comprehensive High School, is in Bafut.
Is it boarding school?
It's a boarding school, of course. What should
Were
it
you a
be?
boarder? Were you in the boarding school? You were living there as a boarder, right?
Where should I live?
Then you're not living in the village.
God, oh, this way. Where should I live?
When I say that my school, Aleji Sitorizon College, is the village, and I lived in the village for that. I don't mean the time that I was in school. I mean the time that I grew up as a child. I was going to what they call it, to the Catholic primary school there, at how they call that place again? Admission. But I was going there every day, and I was back in the house, and I was living the village life. When I was in Sitorism school, I was living like in town. You get up, you go for, I don't know, you go for preps, go to class, yeah, with your township people. People are doing township things inside that small community that they call the boarding school. The only time that you live in the village is when you are not in school, not especially in the boarding school. You cannot be living in the boarding school and say that you are living in the village. You are not living in no village. You leave from there and then you go for holidays in the village.
Nick, so you want to tell me about my reality? Anyways, like I said,
If you're in the
my
boarding,
father had
boarding
moved.
school, I was also in the boarding school. So the life in the boarding school is not life in the village.
Okay, true. But yeah, but
Am I lying? Life in the boarding school. The boarding school which are found in villages. At least us, we used to live when we want to go for work or whatever. We live and we climb hills and valleys and cross rivers to go and carry firewood and bring back to school. At least that was an element of some of those village living that was even sprinkled into our schooling. But I'm sure those people post barefoot places, people sit in class in school the whole time. You have to even go out, you're probably going out for march pass or you're going out for sightseeing
Okay.
or that type of stuff. You come out, you go and stay in the boarding school. If anybody is in the comment section and has gone to a boarding school, tell us whether you thought that when you were in that boarding school you were living in the village. You were not living in no village. So let us.
Is it a
correct that.
village? Yes.
Why so you go and be telling somebody that you were living in the village? They should know the whole truth. So when you were visiting the village,
Nick, before we moved here, we left the village to move to Yaoundé. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean by
you're in the village for how long? For 1 year, for 2 years?
which one? Good. The thing is,
so tell us about your
is,
experience living in the village.
okay, the thing is, I didn't ever really get to live in the village for extensive periods.
Mhm.
One, because when we got to the village, I was boarding school, like
Mm-hmm.
and then when we closed from school, I will go to town. I will go and live there. For most times, I've never really spent more than a month staying in the village,
Mm-hmm.
even though I've been there for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I even finished school, I went to Bambili. It was not. I had to go to continue to find something for myself. Right? I
Yeah.
had to go to Bambili. So I've never really lived in the village for extensive periods, but I've been coming. I can say I know. I mean, I know what's happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents had moved permanently to the village.
Yeah.
They were living there, if not for this unfortunate crisis that had to chase them out. I did love it. I did love it each time I went home, because whatever we're doing here is never gonna feel like home. But back then, it felt like home.
Mm.
It was planned. It was his vision that we would live there. That was his vision. Like, he planned that.
Mm.
He built that reality from. It's not like this one that you are forced to just leave it as a means of survival, right?
Yeah.
That one, he actually planned for it, and we moved there. So I do miss it, but I also do know that there was nothing much for me in that space, except feeling like a village champion that I was. Yeah, because each time I went back home, I always felt like I was Ngumi, you no live for village. Simple. Oh, God, you.
Yeah, you find somebody that tell you so small that you go stand for somewhere disgrace us who actually lived in the village. Yeah.
So,
Even though I could even say that we lived in the village, but my experiences in the village were not really that of a villager. When we go to the village, especially when you are coming from a boarding school, they see you like somebody who came from the coast. The kind of farm work that you do is not really that kind of farm work that the people in the village that are doing. If they were going to the farm 5 days a week, when you come, they will go like once or twice because they don't want that. They don't want you to go and carry blisters and come back to the house. And then what are they going to tell your parents? That I'm gonna kill you from work. Well, you even want to carry firewood or is the food stuff that I've done in the farm for your sake. They are going to give you.
reduce the back.
They'll,
Give you a
they'll give
small
you
back.
small back.
You see now you're a better than spoiled child. Unlike us. So what I'm saying is what I saw in the village is it was great. It was good. You see those times when we went back home each time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was great for our being, for our sanity, for our mental stability. But it was not okay to stay there. There's nothing there for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't encourage anyone to. That's why I always say that if you're really at that level, like that baseline, because most Cameroonians are poor people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're really at that baseline level where you have nothing, you really have nothing to hold on to, try to give your children education. Even if it means sending them to the village primary school and then sending them to the village secondary school, because that's the only avenue where they are going to have to start to see. Even if they don't see that far, but at least they're going to see a little bit beyond the walls of their homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for a rich man's child doesn't really need a formal education like that. They have all the education they need. They can travel, they can meet people at will, they have options. They can take online courses, they can do, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as a poor man's child, you really don't have that much. So I would advise everybody, especially a poor person, to give your child a formal education. I'm not one of those people who come here and tell you that school has come. I believe in school so badly. I don't ask me what I did with my own education, but I believe in school so badly. The school no be scam. Never. Try to give your child an education. That's the only way they will try to see. And because of that, that's even going to be one of the driving factors that will want to push that child to leave the village one day.
Yeah.
It's true, right?
Yep.
That they're not just going to settle around and pick up one tap-out job or something around the village like the people before them did. So, how did we even get here? We're talking, okay, we were talking about this girl who sent her boyfriend to school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she sent her boyfriend to school as per a good girlfriend. But the guy in return, I mean, I don't know if she's going to watch it, she's going to be angry, but I tried to tell her that I don't think that guy was a bad guy. I'm saying this because I know how bad guys behave. All right? A bad guy will not come to town and get a degree and go back to the village to bring you. He probably was very,
Thankful.
for her sacrifices.
Yeah.
So he went back there, he brought her. And then, okay, mind you, I knew this woman through another woman, right? And this other woman claims that her husband was the principal of the school where this woman, that said man came to apply to work in. And when he got the job, he told the man that now that he has gotten this job, he's going back to the village to bring the woman who sponsored him in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said it, that already shows that he has a lot of gratitude in his heart for her, right?
Yep.
So he brought her to the city and they were living together and working. I don't know how the dynamics of that relationship played out, but finally the man got married to a neighbor and they broke up. But in all those years, they had especially childbearing issues. Since she could not conceive, She could not conceive and all. So some men don't give women that grace. I don't know.
Yeah, because men need children now. People,
So
people.
what if you cannot make kids? Are you saying it's okay for the woman to leave you?
What if you cannot make it?
Yeah, you as the man. If you
If you
men
can,
do have low sperm count most times, and women have to.
oh yeah, you can leave, or you should even leave. If a man is unable to provide for you, he's basically unable to be a man for you. Leave that man.
I'm talking about making kids. Like they're suffering from a medical condition. It's a
Yeah,
struggle someone is going through.
if that is something that the woman the woman thinks is
So what
very
happened?
important for her,
You who
then she
likes
should
to
leave.
preach people building together, living, like you don't feel like you should go through someone's struggles with them.
Well, going through someone's, everybody needs to have like their red line. All right. That's why I said that if it is something that she thinks is super important for her, if she, because no matter how you put it, even adopting and all of that, no matter how you put it, there are still blood ties. Blood ties is still something.
Okay.
Whether you are going to go and adopt how many children, the joy that you have from carrying your own child, even with all the pains that come with it and or whatnot, is still something.
Okay.
It's still something. So, and it is very, it it goes right down to the core of and the essence of the woman and the human being. So it is very, very important.
Okay. For
And if the
Nigel,
woman thinks that it is super important for her and the man cannot provide that for her and she thinks that she can do better, then I'm not going to fault her for leaving the man to find something better, to find somebody who is going to be able to fulfill that for her.
okay. Anyway, that's a good thing about being a nihilist like me, because I don't think I'm going to leave a man because he has a medical condition that he is struggling with. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to leave that.
I think that has nothing to be and I don't know how, what are you calling it, the nihilist, or that is just being an
Because
adult.
no,
Which,
no, okay, because I know that for you, you are here to procreate. That's what you said, right?
mm-hmm.
So, but for someone like me, I don't believe I'm here to procreate. I can decide to procreate. Doesn't mean I'm here to procreate. You see the difference?
Well, that's your. In fact,
Uh-huh.
that is the thing is you can accept it or you can't, or if you like you don't accept it. But that is why we are on Earth. That is the reason for human beings. Like that is the reason for life.
Anyway, so when you pass around and you see these pregnant mad women on the street, congratulate them because they're fulfilling life's obligations as per Nick's ideology, though. No, mine. I don't believe that we're here to procreate. We're here to live.
Yeah.
Procreation is is part of living. I
Yeah.
mean, when we're from one, how did they say that thing? Characteristics of a living thing. It was what how do they say it?
The ability to procreate is
No,
a huge
how
characteristic
how
of that
does it?
living thing.
Is it marrying? What's that? What's that acronym? Was it marrying? Like movement, reproduction, respiration, irritability, growth, and those characteristics of a living thing. It was it.
Well, yeah, I don't remember me
So
elementary biology.
so why basically was saying is that reproduction is a characteristic of a living thing. That you can replicate just means that you're a living thing. That's what living things do. It doesn't mean that that's why you're here. You can do it. It's just it's inherent in you that as long as you like this species do replicate, right? But talking about purpose driven, why are you here? No, that's not it. Even if you were not here for that purpose, you will still replicate. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not here to replicate. You just replicate because it's in you. It's in you to replicate.
Yeah.
It's not like
Anyways, if you think so, but anyways, let's say we agree to disagree.
maybe. So now I try to talk her into getting maybe an adoption or so. She wouldn't do it because for her the final is her getting pregnant. carrying a pregnancy to term, and these people with these strong ideologies like Nick, who are so, these people they like to call themselves what, conservatives.
If you would like to call me that way.
The issue is you don't know how bad it gets when you're not flexible enough to accommodate um or include, right?
How do you mean?
It goes as bad as you see men in hospitals who feel that their wives having a CS is laziness, and it doesn't make them any much of a woman. Like a real woman is supposed to
Yeah,
have a
no.
birth. That's how bad it goes.
See, I'm
Like,
not going to blame. I'm not going to blame a man who thinks that the wife is lazy if she decides to have an elective CS. And I say elective CS. CS.
I hope you listen to this. And the thing is,
I said elective CS.
someone
Now
will
let me
still-
explain what elective CS
someone
is.
will still marry this man.
Let me explain what an elective CS is. An elective cesarean section is a cesarean section that you do not need. You basically say that everything is normal.
Now let me
You just decide that no.
now let me
I don't
establish.
want to strain myself. I don't
let
want
me-
to feel that pushing
Let me
pain.
establish something right here. Let me establish something
She
right
cut
here.
my stomach and
I know
remove the child.
you're a medical doctor, but I'm a medical personnel myself, right?
Uh-huh.
So let me establish something here. Everyone, as long as you're a woman, you need a CS. Now you can let me talk.
Uh-huh.
You can choose to have a natural birth, but the CS is always 10 times safer. You can choose to not just put your life at risk.
What is this guy talking about?
You can choose to not just put yourself at risk. Labor is not as safe as people make it sound. Do you get?
What is this guy talking about? Is it major surgery that is as safe as that you think is safer than the natural way that God made for people to have children? You know that cesarean section is unnatural, right?
It's unnatural, but it has been studied, and
So has
for
child delivery, vaginal delivery.
vaginal delivery all mamas have vaginal deliveries. All of them.
Exactly.
It's intrinsic. It's
Exactly. And so which is going to be the safest way to actually give birth?
no, humans have evolved quite a lot. I hope you
So?
know. So
Our biology has not evolved.
it has
Our biology has stayed the same.
evolved quite a lot.
How has our biology evolved? How has the biology of women
Okay, that
evolved?
that you're moving upright is already an attestation to that.
What?
That you're moving upright, it's already an attestation to that. That your teeth now look like this and not like is an
Right. We are not talking about change because living from the Homo erectus to the
Listen,
whatever.
okay.
We are talking
now,
about human beings.
that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, the species, the human being species. How have we evolved?
Our
How
ancestors
has our biology evolved?
regularly, you will not find our ancestors of about my age who hasn't had multiple kids yet. That's what I'm first of all trying to tell
That's
you.
more social than biology. That's not biology. That is just social. That is social conditioning.
It's not about social conditioning. It's not about we no longer make kids that early. So we are no longer
We no longer make kids that early. Is it because the women have decided that they don't want to make kids, or it is because biology has decided that they should not make kids that
the
early?
fact that we cook food and it has made our has made our dental formula to look like this. So yes, our lifestyle suiting has changed or has helped us evolve, whether we like it or not. The way we begin to live over a period of
For the past 2,000 years or more, we have been cooking food. For the longest time, we have been cooking food before eating. So I don't think that evolution that you are talking about is not evolution from. So I'm just saying that our biology has not changed. Unless you want to tell me exactly how our biology has changed and how it has changed our reproductive ways.
That's what I'm telling you. That at first you'll not find a girl of my age who has had multiple kids.
Have you not had multiple kids now? Is it because you cannot have multiple kids, or it is because you don't want
now I'm
to?
telling you that we're no longer as strong or as
Says who? Who says that we are no longer as strong as your predecessors? You think that you are weaker than Ngumis who would have been here 2,000 years ago?
Yeah, not 2,000 years ago. It's just a few days back.
So
We've been
when you are
around.
talking about this in to 10,000 years ago, you think that you are less strong than
Yeah,
Ngumis that
I
was ten
am.
thousand years
I am.
ago.
I'm less strong than most people around me, even now.
Are you speaking just for yourself or you are speaking in general? Because I'm talking about women. Women have always been women. The biology of our biology has not really changed. That is what has always been for as long as we record human history.
Okay, okay.
Right?
Now
So
let's talk statistics. How many women die from CS, and how many women die from natural childbearing?
that that is not even the point. I'm sure
What
that
do you
there are
mean by that?
probably I'm sure that if there's technology has increased has become better in many places and stuff like that. But but that is not the natural way of giving birth.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why we are humans. That's why we're supposed to be, or we are the most intelligent species. We are the most adaptive of all species ever lived. Of adapted. It's called adaptation.
of CS delivery and
Natural delivery.
vaginal delivery. Let us ask ChatGPT to
Yeah,
do us that comparison.
let's ask ChatGPT.
Even-
What does ChatGPT say? ChatGPT says, when looking specifically at maternal death, the mother's risk of dying, vaginal delivery is generally safer than a cesarean section. ChatGPT is going nuts.
Am I the one saying it? Am I the one saying it? When I say things, it's something you. I tell people that I'm a doctor. People kind of refuse.
Hey, ChatGPT is going nuts. What
Which
does
going
it?
nuts? No matter how safe CS has become now, CS is a backup plan to vaginal delivery.
Why is it supposed to have a backup plan if it's that safe?
CS is a backup plan.
Why is
CS is when things have gone wrong with vaginal delivery, because vaginal delivery is the way that most people have been having children for as long as we know humans. It's not because we discovered a cesarean section a few years ago I decided that no. I'm also that if you that's why I said I'm not going to blame a man.
you're not going to blame a man?
I'm not going to blame a man who thinks that the wife
When
is
do we
just
draw the
lazy
line? If it's
if
not
they decide
elective or
that they are going to do cesarean section
Mm.
electively. I'm not going to blame him for thinking that. Because by the way, there are
I
other
mean,
things
young girls,
which
you see how men think I be. When I think to be stingy with your wombs, you say I'm a feminist. That's how a man
mm,
thinks.
no, because
That
first of all, see vaginal delivery lower overall risk. Planned or elective cesareans higher than the risk is higher than vaginal delivery. Most C sections we don't want to be doing C sections in the first place. So don't go and be having. I think one of the things that has even made delivery to be a lot easier is the epidural. That is the invention of the epidural,
mm-hmm.
which makes it a lot
Do you
easier.
know what epidural does to women after delivery?
That's why we don't even recommend it.
Do you know what
It's
it does?
like have normal vaginal delivery, normal without all the brouhaha,
Okay.
without trying to make their life easy. Without trying to make their life easy. The life as there's a certain reward in going through adversity and coming out on top. And that is the way that the human being has been for as long as we know. So yeah. But then again, since we are talking about children, maybe we should leave this. And we talk about how for the past week there have been protests in Cameroon. Women have come out and have been protesting in Cameroon because we know there has been a wave of infantile.
You know what? Tell me that story very well. I've not been online. What are
Yeah,
you
there
saying?
has been a wave of infantile. I think we have covered here this person Like we have here already. This is one story from 237 Palava of a man called Kemonye Nya Sylvester who was arrested at the gendarmerie in Yaoundé in a Fulan. And after he allegedly quarat a 4 year old, his 4 year old daughter, that's fucked. Well, he allegedly unalived his 4 year old daughter. And that was and the reports say the child's body, he chapiered the child's body into pieces and put them in a bag with plans to sell them for 10 million.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a man for you. That's what some men do.
To his own
That's
it's
that's what
just it's
that's what
just a sick person in the mind.
that's what that's
That's
what a
just a very sick
human being
person
would
in the
do.
mind. And
Women,
and
be
so
selfish with you. See, don't go about making this men, giving these men the
no, but no,
privilege
no,
to
no,
be
no, no.
fathers.
Let,
Don't do that. Be
let
selfish.
me get through this because that's actually I usually say here that uh, we are living in a very very dark time. There are a lot of bad people out here, and we should know the kind of
Who
people
are
that
the
we
dark
are
people?
associating with.
The dark people are men now.
We are there are only two genders, so there's men and there's women. So there's is either going to come from one of them. And so with all of those things, there were protests like in Oja as residents demand justice for the 2 year old girl. Cameroonians have taken to the streets in Oja in front of groups Scolaire Bilingue La Gloire Olympic to demand justice for the 2 year old girl following allegations of
A
abuse.
2-year-old girl.
Yes,
A
video
2-year-old
circulating online.
child. A 2-year-old child.
Yeah, the demonstration started like since 5 a.m.
Tell me
requesting
about this child.
accountability and transparency. So all of these things, and it's just,
Tell me about this child, this two year old
I
child.
think all of
Is
this,
it a child that say her father picked her up from school, and when her mother came back from work
no,
to
the thing is, there have been a lot of these stories, especially lately, with little children being molested,
yeah,
little children, a lot of
especially in Yaoundé. I
infanticide.
think Yaoundé is a hub, is the headquarters of this particular kind of stories. I don't know what's wrong with this Yaoundé, but I don't know if I will homeschool my children because this place. I don't know what these mothers are going through
and
because this is
and
like
these protests, and one thing, the protests have kind of been erupting everywhere in Cameroon. Really, I
it's
see
supposed to.
in Limbe, in Boya, in Douala, in Yaoundé. I see these ones in Limbe. It is mobile money operators in Limbe who launched the protests and a sit-down strike following the brutal killing of their colleague or whatever. So all of these things, we have had a lot of, yeah. Even in Bamenda girls take to the streets in powerful protest against sexual assault following the death of an 11-year-old. Right, young girls in Bamenda have risen in protest. Just to say we are living in a very, very dark time. And also, I think there's one silver lining
What
that
is
I
the
see here.
punishment for sexual assault
I
in
think the
this
one
country?
silver lining to that I kind of see here is that for once there has been like a communication from the ministry or from the minister of,
Concerning this.
yes,
Okay.
concerning
What did
this.
this say?
Yeah, they were even though it's just like they were talking about how they had to like do a in fact I don't know,
Does
I don't I
does
really
does our parliament ever have a discussion like this? What is the punishment for such a crime in this country?
it's like, it's usually renforcement the our politicians are like that sometimes.
What's the punishment for this kind of crimes in this country? I want to
Mm.
know.
Well, the punishment for what exactly?
Sexual assault, especially on a minor.
Ah, something to ask our all-seeing eye and our all-knowing eye, ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. punishment for sexual assault on a minor in Cameroon.
In fact, it should even be sexual assault. Anybody who sexually assault anybody should be having the capital punishment. Sharp, sharp. I don't even know why they without trial safe. Oh.
Papa. Chat. What the hell? Now this is where did you get it wrong? Please don't blah, 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 blah. ChatGPT is that I like to worry people. I like to worry people. They cannot talk about sensitive issues like that
If you
on chat.
cannot tell us about punishment, they're just being
I just being facetious.
the other day I was thinking about this thing they keep telling us that knowledge is abundant and what I'm like the knowledge that they want you to have is abundant. The knowledge the if you've ever taken time to think about these metrics, you just know that this life you're living is like there's a group of powerful people who decide what this life is gonna be, and you're just dancing in the metrics like a fool, and you think that you're living life on your terms. Even for those of us who feel like we write on our own news slates every day, we just pawns in there.
Well, yeah. So I think here we get it. We say under Cameroonian law, the punishment for sexual assault of a minor depends on the child's age and the specific offense. Children under 16, you have if the victim is under 16, indecent acts committed against the presence of a child or punishable by 2 to 5 years imprisonment and
Only
a fine.
2 to 5 years.
Well,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
just wait nah. It's indecent acts committed. So probably grouping and something. I don't know what they are going to be calling indecent acts. The penalty can be doubled if violence is involved or if the offender is a parent, guardian, teacher, religious leader, or other persons in authority. Sexual intercourse with a child under 16 is punishable by 10 to 15 years imprisonment. Even if the child appeared to consent under the law, a child under 16 cannot legally consent to sexual relations. And sexual assault or rape of a child under 16 is punishable by 15 to 25 years
This
imprisonment.
this thing is not just correct.
If the offender is a parent, guardian, teacher, religious authority, or another person in a position of trust or authority, the punishment may be life imprisonment.
Ha, so there's no capital punishment.
Well, life imprisonment is already
Maybe
kind of
we really
capital
need to
punishment,
we
right?
really need to match. We need the death penalty to come back.
Uh, Additional consequence, the court may also remove parental rights from the offender by the offender from serving as a guardian or caretaker of minors of older minors for certain sexual offenses committed against persons aged 16 to 21. The penalties provided elsewhere in the penal code may be increased or doubled, especially
Ah,
where
now I understand why this these are mosquitoes in this studio. They keep disturbing me and they'll bite me.
leave our mosquitoes in peace. So yeah, but the thing too is we might have these laws and all, but how are they being how are they being how are they executed? How are they oh
Anyways,
we might have all of these laws, but the thing
comment.
is
Let's see.
how do
Comment on
they go
Facebook
about
and
them?
text. What is it? Comment on Facebook and next day you are in Konengi. Molest a kid and they will investigate for you for more. Thank you. Thank you. No, this is true. Comment on Facebook and the next day. This guy who made that comment when Nyanzi Fenzi died, I'm sure he's still in prison. But these people, to today, we don't know the perpetrator who committed that gruesome act of sexually. Sorry, I shouldn't use that.
Yeah.
Assaulting that minor, a 2-year-old. To today, we don't know. They're investigating. Investigating what? Everybody around that child is supposed to be in jail. I beg. Ah,
Oh la la. Wow. We are living in a very
kids are not raped but molested. That's my belief. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
it's kind of the same thing. It's just, anyways, to say it's a very sad situation that we are living.
See,
And
I'm one person who is always who has always kicked against jungle justice. I always believe that most times jungle justice is not fair, and people should be tried. Everybody deserves a fair hearing, right?
mhm.
But in the case of child molestation, I don't want to hear what you want to say. I feel like that jungle justice is okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't want to see these people roaming about because they can go serve their time. Most times they don't even get to serve the complete time. They come out. I don't want to see them around. People of someone who can do that should not be roaming around children. Which children serve? It should not even be around our vicinities. Oh,
Yeah, it's just that we are not in a country where there's like
like if a man. What I'm saying is that if a man assaults a child like that poor girl, that 11-year girl who was by her
Mhm.
father a few
Yeah.
months ago. That man's pictures were supposed to be everywhere. When you walk around Yaoundé, you're going to see his pictures. You go to Bamenda, everywhere. Like, you're supposed to know that man's face more than you know your father's face. That's what I'm saying. That's how just rapists should be treated. Everybody who is capable of such, people should not sell food to them. Like, oh God. If you're selling achombo,
there's supposed to be a list with their names and their faces.
everywhere. If they come to buy achombo, either you just start blowing whistles to call us to come and unalive him one time. Because I don't know why those kind of people are supposed to live. They deserve the capital punishment. They deserve jungle justice. They deserve every wrong thing that could happen to mankind. It should be happening to them.
Yeah. At least I would like to say one of the silver linings in this is that
I don't see any silver lining
no,
anywhere. As long as these people have not been brought to justice.
because we can still see at least the one silver lining that I can say
See the baby.
it's like the
Wait.
have-
Let me ask a question to those grapists. How do you look at a child, and have an erection? Are you like, haba?
well, there are people who are sick in the head, right?
Hey,
Those are people who are like sick in the head, so there's really no excuse to be given there. Just
I
sick
think
in
I was
the
having
head
this
and-
conversation with you one time where we were talking about the Epstein files also. Oh God, I don't want to even talk about that here because I want Facebook to censor us. And I was like,
Yeah.
how come there were women mentioned there? Because I'm sure women are the most touched by things like this because we are the ones who go through parturition. We're the ones who go through gestation. We're the ones who raise kids. We provide all the nurturing that kids need to grow. I mean, men may provide financial aid, but it's always women who nurture and raise these kids. So if you're even a woman, like what I'm saying is, if I had a son, right? I know how hard I can love my child because I actually have children, but I want to talk about a biological child because that's even going to be different. And he did something of this magnitude. I will be the first to blow the whistle. I will be okay with watching the mob pounce on YouTube. I'm talking about a child I gave birth to by myself, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you've ever protected one of these people, your pictures should be on the electric poles. Because some of you know, some women even protect their husbands. When the kids cry out, these women will protect their husband. When Pastor Adeboye's daughter cried out, her mother protected her husband. Anyways,
I think this is just our chance to put our own little voices to be like, let us burn those people alive and torture them on live television.
and you women too, you
They
should
get
stop
caught.
making children for these useless men. Because statistics shows that child assaults are more likely to happen around the home first before even outsiders. Most times it's either their father or an elder cousin or it's always someone around, right?
Actually, when you are talking about statistics, one of the statistics I think I was watching a debate the other day. It
Yeah.
was between Rachel Wilson, who is an anti-feminist, and and a male feminist. And one of her statistics she was talking about was because the debate was usually whether feminism has done good for women or
Mm-hmm.
not. And she was saying one of the things that feminism has done was, at least in the Western world,
Mm-hmm.
was this whole no fault divorce thing. And because of no fault divorce, it has made there are a lot of women who have children and they are bringing in they are getting to form families with their new boyfriends who are not actually parents of the child.
Yeah.
And those homes are the highest at risk, more than 6 times, to have children who get molested or are in those type of situations. So that means that the highest places where children would get molested and stuff are in all these hybrid homes.
Mm. I can understand that too.
And all this, especially because you see a woman who is with her child and stepfather who really doesn't have any attachment to you, or with her boyfriend and things like that, who is not the father of the child. Those are the homes which have the highest risk of of instances of abuse, of child abuse, and all those type of things. So just to say, and I think it has always kind of been uh there's always kind of been a thing to be like, it's a huge thing for you to, you as maybe if you're a single mother out there, don't just expose your children to these men prematurely. Please don't expose your children to these men prematurely. You don't know, before you know the kind of person that you are bringing your child towards. And even the funny thing is even that sometimes you see they are going to act very innocent, very fatherly and everything. And before you notice it, and before you know it, you and your small girl in the house abobi don big pass your own. You will not know that it's like that when you are sleeping. Your boyfriend is leaving to go and take some other neuros in places where he's not supposed to enter.
But even
So
you're right, you're right. But sometimes I just feel like we should. The only person to be blamed for grape is a rapist. That's it. You see, I don't even want to start putting these women in because my problem is with the. It's true that women should or we should be responsible in our parenting. Yeah, I agree with you, but in this situation, I don't want to talk about reasons or how it got there. These people should be accountable because most times the way
no, we are always going to have bad people out here. We are always going to have sick people
see,
in the head.
there's
At
no
least the
girl
one
that I
thing,
know that has not been assaulted at least once in her lifetime.
that's a stretch. I hear feminists say that a lot, but that's
Have
kind
you
of
ever
a
met a
stretch.
girl who has not been as like she didn't say, like there was she there's no guy she said no but he still forced his way and maybe it just ended like that. I was like yeah it was consensual probably because the I don't know.
Yeah, that's a stretch. I hear feminists say that a lot, but I think it's a huge stretch
It's a
to
huge
be.
stretch.
Yes, it's a
Probably,
huge
probably,
stretch to
probably
say that.
you're guilty. But anyways,
And also, there are things that a girl is going to call sexual harassment or sexual assault from one man, and another man is going to do the same thing to her. She's
yes,
not going to consider
yes,
sexual harassment or
yes,
sexual
yes,
assault.
yes. And this happened. It happens especially when I was
That's
still
why I said
working.
that it's a
When I was still
stretch.
working at Caxi, like there's this girl. She has her guys that she really plays with. This colleague of mine. I'm not gonna call her name here. Where when I was still working at Caxi, right, they
Mhm.
will touch her buttocks. They will play. They will do some. Blah, blah, blah. Go ahead. But one day, this unfortunate.
A guy that she'd not like
Yes,
did the same thing as she cried sexual assault.
and he was fired. And he
That's-
deserves it because consent is
What do you mean?
everything.
What do you mean? So that means that they have to fire all the other people who have been doing the same thing.
No, it's about what I like.
Is it? This is how women spoil. They destroy men's lives.
Ah,
That man has probably no, seriously. That man has probably seen like that. He might have seen how they are behaving with her and thinking that that is the normal way that she behaves, and then he goes and does the same thing that all these other men that she probably likes behind her head are doing the same thing, and she decides to destroy that man's life just like that. Of which it is the same thing that, yeah. Anyways, guys,
So
that
so 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 what
this is
happened to consent?
no, this is yeah. That's why I said she did the same thing that she does with men that she likes,
Yeah,
right?
but yes,
Not that, not that,
I'm
not
gonna
not that,
fuck men I love, but
not men that she's going out with. Somebody that they are not going out with. She's not going out with that person. They have not asked her out or anything.
no
Touches her in
problem. But
one
it's
way,
her body.
or
It's her body.
right.
It's her body.
Ah, because when you're talking about consent, it's not as if those people were asking for consent and she was giving it. And this man came, he asked for consent. She did not give before he did the same thing. They do the same exact thing with the same exact consent which she gave or did not give. And for one, she says it's sexual assault. For the other, it is not sexual assault. So we don't even know where the line is anymore. And that is one of the reasons why men are not even approaching women again anymore. That's one of the reasons why there are a lot of women who are going to die single, because they can,
And
because they can decide in their head and say, no, I was sexually assaulted with something that was super innocent.
innocent, did you touch or did you not touch? Did the CCTV see you touch or did it not see you touch?
If that is the case, she has to, all the others who have done the exact same thing have to be in the same bucket.
No.
But my problem is the irregularity and they decide whatever it is. And there are no clear, there's no clear definition for what they're calling sexual assault or sexual harassment. And they decide anyhow, and then they
But then
use
it's
that
a
to
work
take an.
environment, consent or not. There should be nothing in that. Exactly. Thank you.
No, yeah, I'm not.
Thank
I'm
you.
not. He says, but then it's a work environment, consent or not. There should not be anything. I'm completely fine with that. That is all good. But the thing is, it should apply to everybody. It should not only apply to the guys that she does not like. Because she will report only the person that she does not like, but the person that she likes, she's going to see it as flirting. She's going to say that he was flirting with me, but this other man will come and flirt the exact same way, probably even say the exact same things, and she's going to say this man sexually harassed me. So they have to be clear. And if we have to report people for sexual harassment or sexual assault in a workplace, especially, then it should apply to everybody, even the guys that she likes. If not, then it does not make sense. Anyways.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it says my point differentiate rape from molestation and assault rape for adults who by sight can even can even be aroused, but how do you look at the kid and even think in that direction? Yeah, man, there are guys who are sick in the head. Guys are sick in the head. And well, women, especially single mothers, these two people should check sense the type of men that you are bringing your children to. There are a lot of bad men outside here. The one thing we can do is to mitigate risk. Try to mitigate that risk by keeping those men, by being very, very careful the men that you are bringing your children next to, or the men that you are bringing your children close to. So, yeah, that's about that. But now, those are sick men, according to Ngumis. But there's another person that I'm sure she's going to think is just as sick. So for people who are a lot on Facebook and YouTube and Nigerian culture and law, our guy Mark Angel has apparently I didn't even know that Mark Angel married his first wife in 2018, and the second was in 2022, and then the third in 2024, and now the fourth in 2026. So apparently, Mark Angel is the one who used to do the videos for, what was that girl's name again? The small girl that they used to act with.
Emanuela.
Yes, Emanuela. So he was the one behind the whole Emanuela, and he's a comedian, skit maker, Nigerian skit maker, and he's on his fourth wife. So basically, at this point, I don't know if he's looking for a wife or conducting annual recruitment. Some people change phones every year, some change cars every year. But this man changes wives like he's updating software.
Well,
No hating though, but everyone should live their life the way they choose. But the speed of these marriages deserves a freaking award. What do you
2018 to
think,
now
guys?
is less than 10 years. That's like 8 years,
Yeah,
right?
like 2018 to the first marriage, 2018
I'm talking
to
2018 to 2026 is 8 years, and he's been married 4 times. That's
wait, wait, wait,
Guinness
wait, wait, wait.
Guinness World Record standard.
Damn, like it's that means his longest marriage
Was his first marriage.
was his first marriage. That was 2018, 19,
That's 4
20,
years.
24 years.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Bro, just date you now. Anyways, I'm sure the women wanted weddings. So why is this man looking cranky and for the second wife like
Is wickedness. You cannot be fresh with this type of wickedness. When you have bad fashion, strong fashion, like oh god damn. You can know it from their looks.
Yeah, but what is also making a lot of waves is that apparently his wife now, I think he should be in his 40s or in his early 40s. And Gumi has a problem with the age of the fourth
See
wife.
that child that he married.
What are you
That small
calling
child.
Chai?
And you know, see the small child.
What are you calling Chai? It's a grown
See,
adult.
one thing I can gather from this is that behind the cameras, people actually have the real life they face. Because watching Mark Angel, you think that he's this sweet, funny guy, right?
Uh-huh.
But you looking at his struggles, you know that he's probably a very difficult person. I mean, from the time Denison started coming out, calling him, saying all sorts of things against him.
Yeah, who is
Obviously,
Denison?
Denison, the guy that started this Mark Angel comedy together,
Ah.
Denison Igwe. Well, of course, they always pick the sides of the rich and famous one, so they don't take Denison. But I think after what he did to Emanuela and Success, how
Wait,
he
what did he do to Emmanuel? Because I
The fa-
think
the- you
because
see them struggling now they're independent now. You see them struggling. They cannot even wear clean clothes. I mean, children of but
no, because maybe there's a law that I don't know about, like what happened. Because I know that they used to act together, and then after a while, I started seeing there was no more Emanuela. It was just him doing his thing
yeah, because they're no
with all
longer
this other.
together.
But what did they like separate on bad terms or what?
Well, they've never come out to say, but there are speculations of that sort that he used them, and because that's his nature. He uses people. There's no one around him that ever grows rich. Also, Mackenzie is
What?
probably is not a very good person. I mean, it's evident. Maybe we cannot prove it. We don't have enough substantial evidence to back that up. But I don't think McAngel is a very good person. And looking at his love life, it shows that women cannot tolerate him, even with his money and everything. I know that most women can do and undo for money, but still, I mean, women marry way older men in their 80s and stay in that marriage for 20 something years. But you marry a young guy like Mike Angel and you're not able to do 2 years. He even went to marry an Indian woman and still nothing do. He went out to marry this small child because only a small child. We women too, we have this.
The ceremony took place on May 31st.
We women too, we have this God complex syndrome, right? Where we feel like we can always change a man, we can make a man love us, we can do this, we can do that. You see where women have treaded and
Yeah, I'm not
women-
seeing the young that game.
you're not seeing this child? This 20-year-old
I'm
child?
not seeing the young.
You've not seen that small child?
I'm not seeing the child that is there. She's a fully grown adult.
Yeah,
so
of course, she's 20, so of
I'm,
course she
su-
is.
I'm sure she can make decisions on her own.
What's this
so,
for watching her? Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
She's a 20-year-old, so yeah, she's old enough, right?
yeah, she's
Uh-huh.
old enough.
So
she has ripe where for the picking.
would you date a 20-year-old?
Well, I'll date adults.
Would you date a
If
20-year-old?
if a 20-year-old is an adult, then I think
If a
there's
16-year-old
no
was an
problem dating
adult,
her.
would you date her?
If a 16-year, what kind of question is
Yeah,
that?
because in some countries,
If
16
you're an
is
adult, then you're ripe for the picking.
if she's 16 in Japan, she's an adult. Are you gonna date her?
Right. I think
I told
think-
you guys
I
that
think-
if the age of consent was reduced to 12 to 10, these men will go down. Like this.
See, I can only speak to biology. I can only speak
That's
to
what I'm saying.
generalities, and I can speak to biology.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a reason why there are all these women who get into all these 18-year-olds when they decide to go into OF, right? As OnlyFans, to that all that debauchery. They do a whole campaign, and on their 18th birthday, they have like one of the highest visitors on their pages or whatever. It's because youth,
Because that's the
cells.
age of consent. It's consent. It's legality you're talking here.
yes, it's because the man picking is attracted to youth. That is
That's what I'm saying. So if these children, if this consent in a country where you could do the OnlyFans at 16 or 14, it would still be.
yes, they are going to be flooded with a lot of people wanting to,
And it's going to be
experience
okay.
that.
And you would continue.
I'm not saying that it is going to be okay. I've just said that.
You say you're
I've just said.
adults.
No. I've just said that if you are an adult, I was asking you actually before the show. I was asking you, what do you consider an adult? Let me answer this. That was that. Yeah, we're talking about what you consider as adult and what you consider as not adults. What do you consider as someone being an adult? What do you think makes someone an adult? Because
Adulthood is defined by nothing but legality.
that is your stance.
Yes.
That is, to you, that is what makes people an adult.
Yes, it's
If it is legally said that this person is an adult.
That's it. That's
Okay,
all
then
that.
great. So as long as it is legal, there's no problem.
No, what about you? What about your own moral? What about your own virtues? What about your own standards? What about
Well, standards, you know that standards are very subjective, right?
so what you're telling me is that if not for prison, there's nothing that you wouldn't do.
No, standards are very subjective. For example,
You have no
my-
standards. You're
no,
just
for
scared
exa-
of the law.
no, for
You're just
example,
scared
my
of the law
standard,
catching up with you.
my standard would be that I'm not going to date anybody who is less than 20. Right? That would be my personal standard. But in general, I'll be like, if you are an adult, whether you are 40 years old, 50 years old, and you are in love with another adult, whether they are just at the legal limit of wherever you find yourself, then you are fine.
Like each
Then I
day,
don't see me
each day
any
you walk by
problem.
the road and you see a girl child, hug them. Guess I've been through a lot. Like men would do anything. The only thing they're scared of is the law.
Prison.
Yeah.
The law.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to be
if the age of
law-abiding
consent was
citizens.
reduced to 8 years old, I tell you, these men are going to be hovering around.
Of course, we have to be
8 years old.
law-abiding citizens, because this whole thing is
Like
oh,
they
Mark Angel.
literally have no shame. They literally have no moral compass. Like they literally have no values. They have no standards set aside except for legality because they're scared of the law. And that's why each time they get the chance, each time they get the power to bend the law, they do it with no mercy.
I don't know why you are here because what this thing that you're saying that is just that you're infantilizing 20-year-old women and yeah, infantilizing 20-year-old women, which I actually think is very unjust for those
I
women.
think it's very wrong
infantilize them
that
like
a 42-year-old man like Mark Angel is marrying a 20-year-old.
But what's wrong there?
I said it's wrong. I didn't say it was a crime.
What is wrong there? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking.
There is
Why is it wrong?
It says, well, there is the age for legality, but then maturity when you marry an 18 to 20-year-old, there's high probability she still has a lot to learn. Thank you. This is a man talking.
All right.
That's
Now
exactly.
let me ask. Okay, let me
What-
ask. Let me ask.
what
Let me ask. Let
defines
me ask.
growth is-
Yes. No. Let me ask you then. What do you? When do you consider that a woman is mature? Then, when do you consider that a woman is mature, and when do you consider that a woman should be left to vote for your president? Somebody who is going to send you to war. When do you think that she is mature enough to get into a relationship that you are going to consider mature? And when do you think she's mature enough to vote
Listen.
for your president
I used to say
who could eventually send you to war to die?
I used to say that there is of course age is a figure, but there is just some sort of maturity or some sort of knowledge, right? That only comes with experience. That even your academics or your academia or